Welcome to the Arun's show, where we unpack ideas that shape how we think, decide, and live. Today, we have with us Mr. Jagdeep Singh, JKAS officer, a civil servant who deals with decision making day in and day out.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Yeah.
You work in an environment where decisions can impact not just you, but hundreds or even thousands of people. How do you view this idea of private versus public decision?
Yeah. This distinction struck me years ago. A friend of mine was planning to buy the house he was living in. So financially, it did not make much sense, as he could have easily waited and found something better. But then he said, "It's the first house that my partner and I moved in together." And that changed everything for me, because suddenly the decision was not about property or price, it was about attachment. And that's when I realized sometimes what's psychologically reasonable is more important than what's financially rational. Any decision that lets you sleep peacefully at night is a good private decision, even if does not look smart on the paper, but yeah, it is.
So, you are saying it's okay to be emotionally driven in personal matters?
Yeah, exactly. Private decision is one that primarily affects you. For instance, if I am experimenting with food tonight and it fails, I suffer alone. Maybe I order dinner later, but still, it's my choice and my outcome. But at the same time, the same act becomes a public decision the moment it affects others. Say I have invited my friends for dinner, and if my experiment goes wrong, I have ruined everyone's meal and not just mine. And that's the basic difference. Yeah.
And how does that play out in your professional life as a civil servant?
Listen, in governance, this distinction becomes critical. When I'm making a private decision, say about how I manage my finances, I might value peace of mind over returns. Listen, personally, I dislike loans. Even if it's the rational thing to borrow and invest, I'd rather avoid the stress and feel mentally free. And that's a private choice and it works for me. But when decisions affect others, industries, employees, the public, my comfort is irrelevant. Then I must be coldly rational. Policies, files, and public welfare do not allow emotional intelligence or emotional indulgence, I must say. My responsibility is to be objective and not comfortable. If my reasoning helps me to sleep better at night while it keeps others awake, then I have failed in my duty. Yeah.
That's a strong statement. If it keeps others awake, I have failed. How do you maintain that balance?
I must say it's not easy, but the public service teaches you that empathy and rationality must coexist and not just collide. For example, when you are deciding on industrial permissions, public land issues, or welfare schemes, you cannot let your personal likes, dislikes, or fear influence your outcome, because those are not your decisions anymore, they belong to the public. And I could recall the great author Nicholas Taleb calls it the transfer of fragility, making others to pay for your own comfort. And that's one of the most, I can say, worst ethical failure a public servant can commit.
That's profound. So, reason and reality can go hand in hand?
Most of the time, yes. You can design a life so that both can coexist. Like, I can set aside my weekends for personal indulgences or creative work, but that's being both rational and reasonable. Or in administration, I can build systems that are humane but yet efficient. Being reasonable makes you emotionally invested in your choices. Even if something fails, you do not collapse because you made that decision consciously. Yeah.
And when they can't coexist, how do you choose them?
I must say, then the rule is simple. If it's a private decision, be reasonable as long as you are not irrational. And if it's a public decision, be reasonable but never be irresponsible. Because with great responsibility comes cold rationality.
Beautifully said. Private decisions should help us sleep peacefully, and public decisions should help others do the same. What a statement. Thank you for sharing these insights, both human
Yeah.
and administrative. I, on behalf of on my team, wishes you the best of luck for your future assignments.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. Yeah.